Satnam. I want to share a technique with you to open the blocks of communication. This is our Mercury antenna right here, right? The 5 tattvas, and these all go to planets, the primary planets. And here, the Mercury finger, a great little important one, is all about communication and the brain, okay? And our clarity, our ability to move the energy in that regard. All right, so what we want to do is there's 3 different ones we tend to use in Kundalini Yoga. First, let's do a quick tune-in. Always a good idea. All right, always a good idea. Multiple times through the day, so just rub those hands together. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. All right, rubbing those 72,000 strings. Yeah, reflex points on the hands. Okay, inhale in and just follow me real quick. 1 breath. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale in. Press the palms together to balance the 2 hemispheres of the brain. We want them to be in communication and balanced so we're not insane. All right, exhale. The Ong Namo Gurudev Namo, that opens the vibrates the pineal, opens that crown chakra up for the information flow to come through, and then also to communicate with the pituitary gland as well. So, and it cleanses the whole auric field. So it's a great one just to do anytime you need to center, basically, and reopen, cleanse the auric field and reopen both ends. Yeah. Okay. So we have a good channel, a good flow. Now to our, as we say, our highest wisdom, our own soul, our Atma. Okay. The great Guru. All right. Now, so the pinky finger techniques to carry the day and to open blockages in communication. So you can always just, sit there and kind of work it, another good one to do, because the 5 parts of the brain, when we just kind of, we can go on each, and this is just balancing overall. So is this, right? When we put all those antennae together. Yeah, and we're massaging our brain right through doing this, running the circuitry there, stimulating these parts, okay? But specifically for Mercury, Buddha Mudra, there's 3 basic kind of ways we tend to use it in Kundalini Yoga. So there's the thumb tip, right? Pad of thumb to the tip of the pinky finger. There's, there goes my little double jointed finger. There's the, the tip to tip of the 2. And then there's the mound of Mercury right here, the fleshy mound under the pinky, where we put the thumb there, and then we make little fists. And to me, they do, the reason I'm mentioning all 3 of them is because they each do a very, kind of have a different effect. And this one, we're really, to me, kind of actively engaging the Mercury under our command. This one as well, but this one's more about running that circuit flow, rather than like basically making it our bitch, right? Okay. And then so versus then here's the circuitry where we're really getting that loop going, okay? And stimulating the energy, the energy flow, right? Building it. So you wouldn't want to do it if you're kind of, more wanting to calm down. For that, you might want to do left nostril breath, to relax. And then we have on the mound here. So this is the id, this is Mars, this is our ego. And to me, when we do that, we're putting that pressure there, and then we're closing the fist over it. It's really a kind of surrender. We're surrendering our ego to be a divine channel, basically, for that communication to be an open, surrendered divine channel. That's my experience of that one. So in this, I want us to go ahead and do it right now. So you can do just a minute of each, 1, 2, 3 minutes. You can do it sitting anywhere, anytime, any meeting, any conversation, right before, whatever you need. So let's just put first press the pad of the thumb firmly onto the nail of the Mercury pinky finger for about 1 minute, right? And when we press the pad of the thumb onto the nail of the Mercury finger, it is called locking the Mercury finger. By locking with the pinky, you develop the inner strength to communicate anywhere and with anyone, under any circumstance. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, or he says to read their thoughts thereafter. So that's pretty handy and pretty useful. And I did use this in a meeting the other day and found it very helpful because it's been, Mercury is currently retrograde, and it has been a really challenging one for me where I really feel the onslaught of the energy, you know, kind of riding me more. And so I want to get out from under it and roll more with it, because how it affects you depends on where it falls. That's my experience, you know, where it falls in your natal chart, okay, and how it's interacting with your own magnetic field, essentially your own magnetosphere. So anyway, so we've got this one. Take a deep breath, hold, just suspend and release. And then if you want, you can shake them out. La, 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 la. All right, and then let's do the second one. Okay, so tip to tip, tip to tip. All right, so then change the mudra and touch the tip of the thumb to the tip of the Mercury pinky finger. It is a total physiological situation. And when you will touch this, the two tips together, and sit, it means your Mercury communication energy has to be dominating along with your ego. There is no reason that you should not carry the day. This technique was taught to help us when we don't know how to communicate something that is bothering us, right? And we all know that. We all know plenty of times that having a hard time saying things, you know, then, or things aren't, you know, coming out the way we want them to go, you know, how we want to say it, right? Hard time finding the words. To convey, which is usually what we want to do when we communicate. We're conveying. It's a total esoteric, you know, biochemical process. It's really fascinating, and that's why we all receive communication differently. And this one is interesting how it will affect your magnetic field to be able to penetrate into others. I know that's a strong word, but anyway, it's a good thing we're talking about here, because we all need more clear communication with less static on the channels, right? It works equally well when we are trying to communicate some creative work and we're feeling blocked. So just keep holding it. Your entire sense of communication shall come on your command. For that, you don't have to have initiation. You don't have to belong to anybody, and you will carry the day. It is a reality that when your ego will press the Mercury finger, it is just telling the horse, come on, baby, let's gallop. Okay, your entire sense of communication shall be on your command. And that's what we all want, I'm sure. Okay, so that's definitely been a minute now. So yeah, the Mercury mudra, the Bud mudra they call it, is to conquer the wisdom of the past, present, and the future. And it gives you extremely great power to communicate. The Mercury antenna, the Bud mudra, stimulates the brain and brings it online, which is what we want to do half the time. So many people, and often during Mercury retrograde, you can feel really foggy and unclear. And so I would just suggest these easy techniques, excuse me. So give it a try. See how you go. Too easy. Sat Nam.